Scott Olling not only is a offensive and defensive line coach, he's also a very good golfer, and he can throw a 3-wood pretty far. I can guarantee that.
And we have a pretty good crowd here on a overcast and rainy day, light rain for today's game, Rahway and Scotch Plains. It's 3rd and 6. Campbell fires over number 83. Alfred Woods goes. Abdul Wilt is taken down at about the 25-yard line. Indian fans like that one.
Yeah, Rahway caught Scotch Plains playing the run more so than the pass. A little bit of an opening in the flat there. They just caught him off guard. It was a good call by Coach Bunko on that one. Very nice play there.
He's brought down by Delmar Patterson.
Aaron!
He's having a good game for the Raiders on defense. So it's 1st and 10. And the handoff to Calvin Cummings. Gets a few yards on the play.
Yeah, that was Rob Meyer, got a hand in there to slow Calvin Cummings down a little bit.
Patterson once again with the tackle.
Yeah, Scotch Plains got to get in and they got to be gutsy. They got to make something happen again here. They got to believe in themselves one more time.
Second and 7 from the 27. 1:07 left in the 3rd quarter. Campbell with the pitch out. Calvin Cummings.
Got a flag on the play.
Quincy Flournoy with the tackle, but a flag on the play. So penalties playing somewhat of a factor in this afternoon's ball game.
Oh, I would say so, Don. Definitely, the penalties. Yeah, penalties can really put a damper on your drive sometimes when you're driving down, getting something working. It's working, and all of a sudden a penalty pops up, and now you're behind the 8 ball one more time. Now you need another. Now it looks like they're going back about 15 yards here. Blocking below the waist.
And that's a big one against the Indians, 15 yards. They'll step it back. It'll be 2nd down and 22.
Yeah, it can be very dangerous in there too when you block someone below the waist. I've had that done to me a few times.
From the 42-yard line. Campbell keeps it himself, goes out to the right, and Delmar Patterson brings him down.
Yeah, that just looked like a basic quarterback option. Just kept it himself and just took it for a 10-yard scamper.
Down the play by Delmar Patterson with gain with 11 yards. It'll be a 3rd down and 11 yards to go.
3rd and 11 with 15 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
Make it go.
This will be the last play of the quarter.
Get out there.
Yeah, this is a very important down for Scotch Plains to hold them.
Campbell fades to the left, heavy pressure.
Tipped, oh.
Quincy Flournoy with the block of the pass.
Broken up on a play by number 22, Quincy Flournoy.
Very nice play by Quincy Flournoy.
So that's going to end the 3rd quarter here at Rahway, where the Indians are on top, 7-6 over the Scotch Plains Fanwood Raiders. We'll have to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with the 4th quarter right after this.
When you're looking to buy a new GMC truck, Experience the difference at Warnock GMC Truck. The difference in selection, the difference in service, the difference in price, and the difference our car buyer's review can make. It gives you the inside track on all of our GMC truck models and Warnock Automotive's entire line. Just call 1-800-WARNOCK for your free copy, and soon you'll be saying, at Warnock GMC Truck, there really is a difference.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marka Sipsky, your host for Abilities, inviting you to join me for the new season, where we will be expanding our focus. In addition to improving the lives of people who suffer with disabilities, we will also emphasize improving the general health and wellness of the able-bodied. Tune in to an all-new season of Abilities, Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 1 p.m., only on Comcast Cablevision of New Jersey's TV3.
We're back here at Rahway. Good crowd on hand. An overcast day here in Rahway. For Scotts Plains Fanwood against Rahway High School. And it's 4th down and 10. Campbell hands off to Calvin Cummings.
He's going to be about a yard short. All depends where they mark it. Doesn't look like a spot's going to be good enough for a first down.
Edwin Curry on the hit.
Coach Bunko trying to bring the program back to its winning days in the early 80s and in the late 70s. So far doing a good job instilling some pride in his program. You know, by instilling a weight training program during the off season, which is very important for high school football nowadays. And he's trying to do what he can with the weight training to help his players in the regular season. I think it's no longer a hidden secret down in order to get to the next level, a weight training program, a full course weight training program during the course of the year is very important for not only for injury prevention, but for the success of the program during the course of the season.
So the marking comes up a little bit short for the Indians, and ball will go back over to the Raiders. 1st and 10. Spellman and Curry in the backfield.
During that power eye look, Don.
Ed Williams. Hands off to Robert Spellman.
Yeah, we're always just keying in on a two backfield people because it just seems as if they know what's going on before Scotts Plains does. They're getting good reads in there, and they're doing a great job by sniffing out what they have to sniff out and make the tackle.
Vieira on the tackle on the last play.
Yeah, but again, Don, I mean, Scotts Plains, you know, as we said time and time again, they are young. They graduated a heavy class last year. You know, but this is just a learning experience for all the players out there for Scotts Plains today.
2nd and 9. Handoff to Robert Spellman. He's going out to the right. Aaron Hill with the tackle.
Yeah, Rahway did a nice job in keeping containment for the outside, and that's what kept Robert Spellman in, not stopping him from getting any kind of yardage. Rahway just sees the read, they see the read, they keep containment, they keep the outside. Outside containment, very important in high school football. If they lose outside containment, that could have been a big time play down the sideline. There's Aaron Hill.
Third down and 12 from the 20. 10-14 left in regulation. He airs this one up, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for Mo Abrams, number 18.
Yeah, that was a good pass by Eddie Williams in there. Eddie Williams drops back. There's the pass. Good spiral. good coverage in that one as well.
Number 11, Andy Sue, with the coverage on that play.
Yeah, Andy Sue's having a good game in there today as well, Don.
And he is back for the Indians on this punt attempt. And the ball is down at about the 49-yard line.
We've got Antonio Garay a little slow in getting up down there. Here he is, he's back in action. Well, you know, Don, Coach Cicatelli told me, you know, early in the week that all he wants to do is to get better every game. I'm sure he's going to look at the film tomorrow night and see some good pointers and some bad points, but for the most part, his team has not given up. They're only down by 1 point, and you got to give them a lot of credit for hanging in there.
1st and 10 from the Raider 49. Campbell dropping back to pass. Heavy pressure by the Raiders. He gets the pass off. Pass intended for number 21, Marvin Hill.
Yeah, that was a good swarm by that defense in there, sniffing out Lewis Campbell. They read it all the way, and the defense just went after charging him, swarming.
And penalties so far in the game for Rahway. 11 penalties for 115 yards in Scotch Plains, 2 for 20 through 3 quarters. So the Indians getting penalized a fair amount. And pass knocked down by Dave Rowley.
That was that screen that we saw for the touchdown back in the first half. And it looks like the Raiders had it really, they had everything covered on that one. Here we look at it one more time. Lewis Campbell doing what he did in the first half, dropping back, bringing the defense back. And looks like they had a little bit of someone else on there for the screen. They had it read out, number 68, Dave Rowley on that one. Yeah, Dave Rowley, left tackle, would have had an interception here. That's a joy for a tackle or any kind of defensive lineman to catch a ball, and he almost had it in his fingertips.
Campbell rolling to the right. Heavy pressure once again. Aaron Hill with the reception. He stays in bounds and gets out to about the 25-yard line. So a nice reception by Aaron Hill. Nice job of keeping himself in bounds. Once again, Lewis Campbell feeling the pressure of that defensive line from the Raiders.
Yeah, they're getting some good pressure there down the defenses, and they're doing a great job. But unfortunately, on that one, Lewis Campbell just made a great play and threw the ball for a touch for a pass completion. Fumble. Little miss snap in there.
So it'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Lewis Campbell's showing a lot of great athleticism in there today. I mean, to make a play like that last play, to make something out of nothing.
Second and 8 from the Raider 26. Campbell with the handoff to Jamal Lewis. He gets to about the 23-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 6.
Scotch Plains did a nice job in there closing up those holes in there, and a little bit made it very tough for to get some yardage in on that one.
Rahway moving the ball quite nicely on this set. It's going to be a real test for the Raider defense. Pass intended for Abdul Wilkes. Another over the middle pass once again.
that had touchdown written all over it, Don, as we look at it. Just a simple drop, one-step drop, right over the middle, and that was touchdown. Yeah, but sometimes you see the goalpost before you catch the ball, but that's part of high school football.
Mike Punko calls timeout here with 7:59 left in the fourth quarter.
You know, Don, just to go back, last week the Rahway Indians lost a very heartbreaker to Kearney, 28-27. But Coach Punko was a very big proponent of the overtime rule, and even on the other side of the ball game, losing a game on the other side from the overtime situation that is now instilled in high school football. He said it was great, you know, regardless if he was on a losing side of it, he thought it's great for high school football. So there's a big proponent. Someone who loses a ball game is still in favor of the rule.
And overtime played a factor in a game last week also, Cranford against Shabazz. Cranford was managed to come back and tie it in at the end of regulation on the last play of the game and was successful in coming up with the winning combination in overtime.
So there's two different sides of it. I think the majority of the people out there are in favor of this overtime rule. I think it's exciting for high school football.
Campbell with the handoff to
there's Dave
Cummings.
Rowley. Dave Rowley in there on the stop. Nice play by Dave Rowley in there, getting some penetration and making something happen in the backfield, creating havoc for Rahway. We got a down player for Rahway.
Kerry Burkhart is the downed Indian.
Yeah, it looks like he got the wind knocked out of him, Don. Hope he's all right. He's played a big instrumental part in this ball game today with throwing some good trap blocks as well as getting downfield as well as kicking an extra point, which is the difference in the ball game today. So Kerry Burkhart's done a great job today.
And you can see Governor Livingston versus Dayton Saturday, October 14th at 10 p.m. And once again, Sunday, October 15th at 6 p.m. right here on Comcast Cablevision's TV3. Kerry Burkhart making his way off the field of his own power, so that's a good sign.
He's going to get a glass of water and probably just get a breath or two, and he'll be back out there.
The key members of the offensive line for the Indians.
Well, no doubt about it. He's played a very instrumental part in this ball game today. Very active in there today.
First and 10. Williams drops back to pass. Intended for Mo Abrams, number 18. Threw that one just a little long.
That was a very smart play call by Coach Ciccatelli. Trying to open things up with a pass. You know, being that Rahway is keying on the run plays that that Scotch Plains has thrown at him all day today. Sometimes it's good to mix things up offensively to keep people off balance, off guard in there. And that's what they're trying to do.
As we mentioned in the opening, both teams very evenly matched, and we're certainly seeing that here through almost 3.5 quarters of play so far.
There's the
Williams with
same
the pass
play
to Mo Abrams. Abrams gets past the 30 to the 40, and the fumble. Looks like the Indians recover, and they do.
Well, there's a penalty flag on the field one more time, Don. I hope it's not against the Indians in this situation. It's against Scotch Plains, it looks. That was a good play. I don't know who had their hand in there, Don, but somebody was in there reaching for that ball while someone else was tackling, and that's what created the fumble on that play. That's a good heads-up play defensively.
So the penalty is against the Raiders, and the Indians will decline, and they'll take over. First and 10 on the Raider 45. Looked like Aaron Hill was in on that fumble recovery. So far, this is the second turnover of the ball game. The first one was by the Indians, and that resulted in a Raider touchdown.
I think right now the Rahway Indians just want to try to eat up as much of the clock as possible. You know, it is a very close ball game. They have the capability of eating probably a good 6 minutes of the 6 minutes and 55 seconds left in this ball game. All they want to do is just keep churning out some yardage on the ground and keep the clock moving.
Good play by Lewis Campbell to hang on to that ball. Ball looks like it might be getting just a little bit wet, a little tough to handle at this point. 2nd and 9. Hand off to Aaron Hill.
Oh, there's Aaron Hill trying to fight up north, going up north, up the field for some extra yardage.
And Hill gets out to about the 39.
Yeah, that was
James Gleason with the tackle.
He had that will not be denied attitude in there, and he just kept fighting and churning those legs for a couple extra yards. That's a great effort.
Aaron Hill comes out after that nice run. 3rd and 5 from the 30. Campbell fires over the middle once again to Shaw. He gets out to about the 22-yard line. So once again, the pass middle over the pass in the middle. I'll get that right. Effective once again for the Indians.
I think key in that whole play there, Don, was set up by the splits by the offensive line. They brought him in. There's the play that we're talking about here. Anthony Shaw, great catch. Turns upfield for a couple extra yards. About 7 yards after the catch.
1st and 10 from the Raider 21. Campbell tries to go back over the middle once again.
Yeah, that was just a slant pattern that Ray Jacoby's been very successful with today. And Scotch Plains had their hands up, which tipped it down. Yeah, Don, just to go back to that last play, it looked like Rahway narrowed down their splits off in the offensive line. Thus, Scotch Plains thought that there was going to be a run play. Well, this is a different play than what we're talking about, but that's what they try to throw Scotch Plains off by thinking it was a run play and then throwing a pass, and that's what jetted the 12, 15-yard pass play. This is a game of deception in here, Don.
2nd and 10, ball loose once again. And Lewis Campbell hangs onto it. Gets about 2 yards on the play. And yet another penalty flag thrown.
A little tough. It's very tough when that ball gets misty, like with that kind of dewy effect on a ball from the rain and the mist. Sometimes it's very tough to get a handle on it, as shown there.
So far, we've been quite fortunate only to have just a light drizzle. The rain seemed to be
but
holding off.
Sometimes when it's misty like this, it's a little tougher for the ball because it gets like a film on it, as opposed to when it's really wet, it gets a little bit stickier.
And the pitch out to Calvin Cummings. He gets through, and he's taken down at about the 3-yard line. And the Rahway fans like that one.
And rightfully so, Don. They're excited here. 4 minutes, 33 seconds. Here's the play. There's Kyle Thomas with a big block. And is trying to read the tailback in the back, and the end got taken down by Kyle Thomas, which jetted Calvin Cummings for another outstanding 15-yard pickup. Yeah, that whole play was set up by Kyle Thomas. Sometimes offensive linemen don't get their credit, but he did a great job in there.
Campbell hands to Cummings.
Because, you know, one thing's for sure, Don, unfortunately sometimes when you pick up the paper the next day, the only thing that's in there is the running backs and the quarterbacks, and they never have a stat in there for the great offensive play that may have been the reason for that 150-yard performance by a running back or a quarterback or what have you.
Calvin Cummings checks out. Aaron Hill checks in for the Indians. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3.
Oh, beautiful
Campbell
ball.
with the fake, and he goes to the left, and he is just walks into the end zone for the Indians.
Yeah, that was a beautiful call there. He had Scotch Plains off guard, thinking it was going to be a straight-up dive play, and there's just a little bit of trickery, if you will. I don't know if you can call it trickery. It's just a design play like that, but very successful.
Real nice play by Lewis Campbell. Puts the Indians ahead 13-6. Coach Mike Punko likes that one.
Number 12, Lewis Campbell.
Here's the extra point attempt. It is blocked.
Now, if we were in pro or college, he could have took that for a 2-point conversion on that one. Here's the play, very simple. Straight up dive play, little fake, a little bit of an option. Here he goes, just a little roll out left, little walk in for the touchdown. Little misdirection play.
The early touchdown drive was a 45-yard eight-play drive, capped off by a 2-yard run by junior quarterback number 12, Lewis Campbell.
Lewis Campbell, the 6-foot junior.
Yeah, he'll be back next year. Yeah, they got a good nucleus of a team coming back for Rahway. They'll be pretty good next year, I would imagine.
3:36 left in the game, with the Indians on top, 13-6. Mo Abrams and Quincy Flournoy back for the Raiders.
Well, you know, Don, Scotch Plains, they're only down by 7. They still have a chance to win this ball game, and they got it. They got 3 minutes and 36 seconds to make something happen. Doesn't take much to score a touchdown.
Ivan Birch set the kick.
End over end.
Edwin Curry with the reception. And Ivan Birch, the kicker, comes down and makes the great stop on Edwin Curry.
Yeah, that was a big play there. Nice end over end kick here. Oh, that was a beautiful play in there. He took one player. Oh, that was a good play.
Birch was going after a few players.
Yeah, he certainly got his share of players on that play, Don. Yeah, that was just a great performance down by him to get down here and to be able to kick the ball and then make the tackle. That's phenomenal. Yeah, but sometimes, Don, in high school football, it's great to be able to run full force down the field and to be able to hit somebody at full force. And it's a good feeling when you get to tackle somebody down there.
1st and 10 from the Raider 28. Important offensive set here for the Raiders with 3:03 left in the game. Williams fires over to Mo Abrams, and Abrams gets to the center of the field, and he gets out to about the 44-yard line.
That was just a little bit of an out pattern, and Mo Abrams made something out of nothing. And that was just a little flare pattern out to the right. And Mo Abrams took it down the middle for about a 10-yard pickup. Just a little out pattern. There's Mo Abrams making something happen, running down the field, catching Rahway off guard in the middle there.
Williams fades back. He's looking for Abrams once again. And he overthrows Abrams for the incomplete pass, but another penalty flag being thrown. And the penalty's going to go against the Raiders.
Yeah, Scotch Plains doesn't need this now with only 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in this ball game. Cicatelli being very adamant about it, asking what it's about.
That was offensive pass interference against the Raiders. Coach Cicatelli doesn't like that call at all.
Yeah, rightfully so, because offensive pass interference really is not called that heavily at any level, and to have it maybe put a stop on his drive is rightfully so for him to be very adamant about it.
So it's 2nd down and 25, and that'll put the Raiders
He's really giving a ref an earful over there on the sideline.
back to the 29-yard line. Williams looking for Abrams once again. He has Abrams at the 35 to the 40 and gets taken down at about the 42-yard line.
I'll tell you,
by
Don,
Aaron Hill.
If he could have broke that one, that could have been a touchdown.
Once again, Mo Abrams getting open.
It's the same play they were successful on a couple plays ago. Just a little bit of out pattern. There's Mo Abrams taking more of a sideline course down the sidelines.
Nice block by Edwin Curry to give Williams the time to complete the pass to Abrams. Williams pass complete to
That's Ryan Spellman in there for the catch.
Ryan Spellman. So Ryan Spellman checks into the game, gets his first catch of the game.
Scotch Plains should call a timeout right about now.
Got 1:35 and counting.
They're motioning for timeout on the other side. Nobody sees them.
And now they call a timeout. The Raiders finally call timeout after.
Well, you know, Don, that cost them about 25 seconds on that play, and you know, I'm sure this will be discussed in film session. But again, this goes back to having somebody who's a younger ball player who may not understand this, but for next year they'll understand that 25 seconds means a lot in this ball game.
And I'd like to thank Peter Cole, who is in charge of the press box here at Rahway, for all of his help and hospitality here with the TV3 sports crew. And he was saying to us at halftime that a lot of these players from Rahway were really getting fired up for this TV broadcast of Rahway and Scotch Plains.
Yeah, there's no question, Don. I know myself when I was in high school at David Briley, the talk of the town was a TV game. We didn't really care about the rest of the games. When we found out the game was on TV, it was the whole school was fired up, the community, everyone was excited about going to the game that day. And the best thing is turning on the VCR that night and taping yourself on TV. That was, you know, I still got a few tapes from TV3 going back. And these kids will do the same thing tonight, I would imagine. This is one of those moments in high school football that they'll cherish forever. 25 years from now, they'll be telling everybody they had like 1,000 tackles in a game.
Williams back to pass. He runs out and he is taken down. Bobby Vieira with the tackle of Ed Williams on the big stop.
That's a big play. Yeah, that was a big play. Looks like that'll be it. Yeah, that's the funny thing about high school football is as time goes on, the further away from your graduation date in high school goes, the bigger the play becomes. You know, I mean, I know myself. It seems like I may have made 1 or 2 tackles in a ball game, where now I'm telling everybody I made about 10 or 15 tackles.
Calvin Cummings takes the ball.
I guess it's
That's
safe.
about the 41.
I guess it's safe to say you just begin to exaggerate a little bit more about your performance as time goes on, because you realize you don't have those moments in football ever again.
Timeout called once again by the Raiders. Cicatelli taking the walk out to talk to his team. Certainly can't take away anything from the Raiders in today's game. They put up a great fight.
Yes, they did. They're only down by a touchdown. I mean, it's a great fight for coming here obviously they've gotten better as the game went on, because they put up a good fight towards the end there. And that's what Coach Cicatelli has told me, and he'll probably tell his players, that we just want to get better game in and game out. And that's the only way to get to the next level. And to you know, last year they had a 6-4-1 record, and this year is just another rebuilding year. It's going to take a while to really get the execution that's needed to win. And we saw a little bit of little misreads in there or what have you, defensively, offensively, but that'll be stuff they work out as the course of the season moves on. I just think today's ball game came down to a matter of execution on both sides of the ball.
And unfortunately, Scotch Plains has got a rough schedule ahead of them. They're at Cranford next week, and then at Summit, at Irvington, and then at Linden.
Yeah, that's
so 4 really tough ball games right there.
And we got Summit, the returning Group 2 champion from last year's state championship. They have a pretty good ball club. Irvington's got a phenomenal club. Cranford, not too bad. Linden, Shabazz, and Union to wrap it up on Thanksgiving Day is a tough ball game.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the last play of the game there, let's have a nice hand for the Scotch Plains Raiders.
But I just think for Scotch Plains, their major role now is to play spoiler for any kind of state championship playoffs that people may want to try to qualify for. Scotch Plains has that duty to play spoiler.
And Lewis Campbell downs the ball, and that will be it. As the Rahway Indians defeat the Scotch Plains Fanwood Raiders 13-6 in a great matchup. Another great watch-on conference battle. And as we said in the opening, Patrick, that both teams seem to be very evenly matched, as we mentioned at halftime also, and they certainly didn't disappoint us here with the 13-6 win by the Indians.
Very close ball game in there, Don. Very close ball game. But I have to give the edge to Rahway, but at the same time, Scotch Plains got to hang their head high. They hung tough against Rahway.
So the Rahway Indians defeat the Scotch Plains Fanwood Raiders 13-6. We have to take a short timeout, and we'll be back with our post-game wrap-up show right after this.
When you're looking to buy a new Ford, experience the difference at Warnock Ford. The difference in selection, the difference in service, the difference in price, and the difference our car buyers review can make. It gives you the inside track on all of our Ford models and Warnock Automotive's entire line. Just call 1-800-WARNOCK for your free copy, and soon you'll be saying, at Warnock Ford, there really is a difference.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marka Sipsky, your host for Abilities, inviting you to join me for the new season, where we will be expanding our focus. In addition to improving the lives of people who suffer with disabilities, we will also emphasize improving the general health and wellness of the able-bodied. Tune in to an all-new season of Abilities, Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 1 p.m., only on Comcast Cablevision of New Jersey's TV3.
To Rahway, as the Indians have just defeated the Raiders 13-6. And joining me here on the post-game show is Calvin Cummings, who was 17 of 89 and 2 for 10 in receiving and 1 touchdown. And Calvin, I want to congratulate you first on the win, and maybe just talk us through a little bit about the touchdown pass that you caught.
Ain't much I can say. The line just blocked. I just followed them and ran in.
You certainly had some great blocking by your offensive line, really creating some of the holes for you to try to get some of your 89 yards in rushing.
Yeah, they blocked real well. We had a few mental breakdowns, but we got it squared away up in the room. Just came out.
Okay, Calvin, congratulations. Thank you very much. And Kerry Burkhardt, why don't you step on in here? Kerry Burkhardt, one of the senior offensive linemen here for the Indians. And Kerry, you provided some really great blocking for your teammate Cummings.
Thanks. Yeah, I believe like the offense had a really, the offensive line had a really great game, some nice blocking, but the penalties what really killed us. And I felt, if we would have had more consistency on the line, like plays and stuff, we would have, I think we could have scored a lot more personally.
And can't forget that he also kicked the extra point for the Raiders, for the Indians on their first touchdown. Kerry, thank you very much and congratulations. And Lewis Campbell, come on in here. And first off, congratulations on the win. And second, you had a great run there for a touchdown in the third quarter.
I just saw the corner and I took it. That's about it I can say about that. It was wide open.
Great. Well, congratulations, Lewis. Thank you very much. And head coach Mike Punko, come on in here, and congratulations, coach, on the win.
Thank you very
And you certainly had a great game out of your senior players here. Junior player Lewis Campbell and your senior player Kerry Burkhardt, and Calvin Cummings had an outstanding game for you.
Yes, they played very well today. Lewis made some nice calls, making audibles. Calvin ran the ball well, and Kerry Burkhardt blocked very well up front.
And next week you have Eastside, and that's homecoming. Any thoughts on them?
No, but we're going to prepare for them. Last year they beat us up pretty good. They're big and strong, and we seen them play against Scotch Plains last week. So we're going to go back on Monday and start with the basics and go from there.
And one of your goals for this year was to improve upon last year's record. You've already done that. What are some of the other goals you have set for this Indian team?
Nothing more than going to the next step. We're 2-1 now. We're looking forward to East Side. That's the next step. That's the next level, and we'll go from there.
Great. Well, congratulations, Coach Punko.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And joining me once again on the Sportscast is Patrick Olenek. And Patrick really had a great game. Like we said earlier in the game, in the opening, that both teams are very evenly matched, and they certainly, didn't disappoint us here.
There's no question that I just think this game could have been actually a blowout if it wasn't for the penalties from Rahway. And fortunately for Scotch Plains, it was close. It was 13-6 ball game, but Rahway's got to walk away with this as feeling good about their program. Unfortunately, the penalties killed them, but they did win the ball game, and they're off to 2 wins already on the year.
And the offensive line for Rahway certainly provided great help for Calvin Cummings today.
There's no question about it. Sometimes when you're playing high school football or any kind of football, the offensive line never gets credit. And this Rahway team, offensive line-wise, is really gelled together today, as shown by performances by Kerry Burkhardt, by Kyle Thomas. Great performances in there for the offensive line, thus creating Calvin Cummings off, 89-yard rushing today.
And we certainly can't forget about the Raider production today. Edwin Curry certainly had a great game, and you certainly can't forget any of those members for the Raiders.
Yeah, I think the Raiders walk away from this ball game, understanding that they are a young team. They have to gel together as the season goes on. As the season does go on, they will begin to execute their offensive and defensive plays much better. And who knows? Watch out for Scotch Plains next year because they are a very young ball club.
So for the entire TV3 sports crew, for Patrick Olenek, my name is Don Smith. Once again, the Rahway Indians defeat the Scotch Plains Fanwood Raiders 13-6, and we'll see you next time. So long, everyone.
You